to the hairdressers with other people there. Oh, Julia's coming. And so, yeah, I can't wait to get mine done.
Yeah.
Usually I have mine really short, and it's really got so long now. And it hasn't been cut since the end of January, and it's just awful.
Hey, Julia.
Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Hi, Julia.
Hi.
Hi.
It's nice
I've
to...
got short hair. Look at it.
Oh, I was just going to say you've had it cut.
I didn't get your email, Harry.
Oh, did you not?
No.
No.
But I'm glad you're here with us.
Hmm?
I'm glad you're here with us, Julia.
Yeah, that's nice.
We're merging two groups together just to have a bit of the, you know, like getting together with people from different parts of Devon.
It's nice.
I haven't seen you for ages, Natalie. We thought you'd shunned our meeting.
Aggie?
Me? You're talking to
Aggie,
me?
not Natalie. Aggie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Aggie.
Oh, that's
I haven't
okay.
seen you for ages.
I
You'd just
know, I'm
given
so
up on us.
Oh no, I haven't. I'm so sorry. It's just my kids keeping me so busy and occupied that after like couple hours of work, I have to just go back to them. So I have our Zoom at 2 o'clock, and after we finish about 2, 2:15, 3, 3:30, 3, 3:15. Oh my God, I'm so crazy today. And then I have to go back to them, give them some food and stuff. So sometimes I don't have time to join your meeting, and I'm so sorry for that.
Yeah, that's right. I'll let you off this time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm sorry I was locking in, but the hairdresser took longer, and I had to get home, and it was, and I only got in at 2 o'clock. And then I tried hard to get through, and obviously with no new number, I just couldn't get to you.
That's all right.
I
just thought you might have forgotten.
Oh, please don't worry.
So we were just thinking, like, because we don't know each other, maybe you can just say where everyone can go around and say where you are, and something about yourself, something you care about, something you're passionate about, maybe. Do you want to go? Want to say?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
And also, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I also have a statement and like a question. Is everyone okay for us to record this session so people who's not present, they can also watch it later?
Yeah.
Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah. We'll say nice things about them, not behind their back anymore. Sorry. Sorry.
Okay, let's carry on then.
I'll start then. Well, I'm Stella, and I live in Fennerton, which is a village more or less next to Ottery St Mary. But I do spend most of my time in Exmouth, because most of the things that we enjoy doing, my church is in Exmouth. I go to the Salvation Army in Exmouth, and we go to the seafront a lot in Exmouth, do my shopping in Exmouth. So we've actually got nothing really in Fennerton. It's so small, there's not really much. My pet loves are crafting. I make greetings cards. And so I believe it or not, it's Christmas in July in my house, because I've started my Christmas cards, because I make at least 100 every year. So to get ahead of the game, you have to start. So I do that. My other pet love is my grandchildren, who don't live very near. They live in Surrey, and I haven't seen them since February. And I really do miss them. But I found out this morning we're all going to meet up on the 28th of July, and I'm so thrilled about that.
Oh, that's nice. Are they going to come down to you, Stella?
No, what they do is we've got this system. There's a place called Solstice Service Centre on the A303. Okay. And it's got every restaurant you've ever thought of. It's got, it's got Harvester and, Torbay and McDonald's and all that. And that is where we exchange children and bags and Christmas presents. And we seem to spend our life, because it's sort of a good 2.5 hours to go to where my daughter lives, whereas if we do it this way, it's only about an hour for her and about an hour and a half for us, so it's much easier. We can see them more. And I mean, I go up there and stay occasionally, and they come down here quite a bit and stay. But yeah, so we're going to meet up, and we're going to, because we're still going to have to be a bit self-distanced, I presume, at that time. So we'll just have a drive through something and just sit and talk to each other, you know, outside and that. But I don't care. It's the fact that I'll be able to see them, because I think we're all struggling a bit now, because it's, you know, because it is important. And I've just had a report from the school. We've seen a school report, end of year, for my grandchildren, and they're absolutely fantastic, as you can imagine. And
well, it would be with a grandmother talking about them,
because they're grandma's boys. So yeah.
Oh, it's excellent.
That's me.
ring it off.
All my nice things. So over to the next person.
Who, on my screen, the next person is Glenys.
Right. Well, I live in Paynton. I've been down here almost 8 years, and I'm basically from Yorkshire. And my grandchildren, I'm afraid, also live a long way off. One's in Surrey as well, one in Surbiton in Surrey, and one in Leeds in Yorkshire. So like you, I am very eager to see them, but I have no idea when. I have a son down here though, and we've formed what they're calling now a bubble. So I've been out twice with them, and I'm going out on Thursday up to Lustley in Thursday. Does anybody know Lustley?
No.
I know where it is.
It's a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful village near Bovey Tracy. So we're going there on Thursday, and we will have a meal together, which is lovely. And I keep my mask on inside the car, so I'm sure I'm doing no harm then. That's the best we can do.
If they let you out of the car, does that mean you're in trouble?
No, I'm not in trouble. No. But I took myself away in the back of the car, yes. And so that's what I'm doing at the moment, which is lovely. Be nice to go to get in. So this is my third outing with them, other than walks. We have met for walks in Paynton and kept our distance. So I have been in touch with my sons, but not my daughter, sadly, other than over the phone, or my grandchildren. So that's a sad thing of living apart, you know.
Yeah.
We have to get on with it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it, is there? I mean, it's nobody's fault. I mean, I Skype, not Skype, I don't Skype, I'm lying. I FaceTime mine quite a bit. And my eldest grandson, who's 11, he's got a phone, so he's allowed a phone because he's 11. And so occasionally I get little messages and little funny things from him.
Yes.
But it is difficult. It's not the same, but it's as good as we can get, and I'm grateful for it. So
where in Surrey do yours live then? Whereabouts in Surrey?
Near Camberley, Lightwater.
Oh, I don't really know it.
No, it's near Camberley, near Frimley, in that area.
Right.
So, it's literally straight off the M3. So it's
yeah, I know where the M3 is. A nice road.
Just off at Junction 3 and the M3. So I mean, it's an easy drive up there. It's not a difficult drive.
Oh no, it's all the threes, isn't it? 303.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 30, 303 and the M3.
Yes.
Even for me, I can manage that. But it's just the distance. It's just, you know.
Yes, I know. Yes, I used to drive down from Yorkshire to my son's, just 300 miles to the mile, you know.
Oh.
Rather a long way. And my daughter's was 217 miles. So we're both a fair way off, but I'm nearer to one of them at last. Yeah.
This morning, my daughter spoken to my parents, and now my parents have both my sisters visiting them. So, and both of my sisters, they have children. So my daughter saw her cousins, and after they've spoken, she started crying because she said, "Mommy, I miss my family. I miss my grandma and I miss my grandpa." She even written them a postcard, and we're going to send this tomorrow, because I don't think we will travel. We will fly to Poland this year because of the situation. So she understands that, but usually we are over there over the summer. So she was crying because she said that she's missing. But if we would go to Poland by car, it would take us about 30 hours.
Oh.
And we only done it. We've done it only once. With one daughter, when we had one daughter, one child. Now we have two, and when we've done it 6 years ago, we had a break in Germany, so we stayed in a hotel. But I don't know if we can do that, and if it would be too risky to then just travel to family and maybe bring some, just infect them accidentally when. Yeah, I don't know if it's too risky. So yeah, I understand both of you what you're saying, and you, Glenys, like you said that your daughter lives quite away from you, quite a distance. So yes, I'm on the same boat.
But not as far as Poland.
But at the moment, the distance doesn't really matter, because it doesn't matter how far. We're still not together.
Yes.
Yeah. But Glenys, anyway, Glenys, did you have a chance to try the chocolate yet?
No, not yet. No, but I shall be doing.
And please try.
I will, I promise, yes.
Thank you.
I try not to eat too much because I'm sort of on the verge of diabetes.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It runs in the family, but not until older age. I think I'm about there now. So I try not to eat too much at once.
Okay.
Yes, but I will try it before next time. Yes.
Okay. Glenys won our competition the other week when we did the quiz, and she won it. So she got a little prize from us. As a congratulations. So that's why I've asked about the chocolate, because chocolate was one part of the prize. Yes.
And a beautiful tea towel with bees on.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Names a lot of different kinds of bees, so that's lovely. Because my daughter keeps bees, so
that's unusual.
Yes. But she has some hives on an allotment. She has, and really love it. Yeah.
Oh, the other allotment owners must like her then.
Pardon, Harry?
The other allotment owners must like her, because it's good.
Oh yes. Well, the next allotment to hers, to where she keeps the bees, actually she's only got a half an allotment there. She does have another one as well. And he said, let them come onto mine anytime, because he keeps soft fruit trees. He says, because they all help, so that's brilliant. So it works pretty well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've had all the gear on, I've had all that on and handled everything. It's lovely.
Thank you, Glenys. I've got Krysia on my screen next to Glenys. So,
hello.
Hello, Krysia.
Hello. I haven't been away anywhere because myself and my husband, we went down with a virus, unfortunately.
Right.
First, and then I contracted his. We both had varying side effects, but we've survived. Just drained at the moment, which is very common to be drained afterwards. So we haven't been anywhere apart from doing the what I call the hibernation, the required hibernation, and then being released from that and being able to go out and about locally, being careful. because I wear glasses, I don't know whether anybody else suffers from this. If I put the mask on, it steams the glasses.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I put mine on in a shop and it steams them up, yes.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I find if you put the mask on upside down and you press the nose bit, it's a little bit better.
Right,
That's
yes.
something to try.
Yes, yes.
That will work.
Don't laugh, but at the hairdresser's, somebody else was complaining, another lady who was going to follow me in, she was sitting apart. When I used to be in theatres in 1950, and when we were on wards, if you had glasses and it was a steamy atmosphere, if you got a bit of ordinary soap, I don't know, the formulas have changed, and smeared your glasses with a bit of soap, you know, and don't rinse it off, but get it very, very thin, then it stops the steaming up. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, I know that sounds silly, but it worked then. I expect there's something you can get at the chemist or something like that, but it's just, it's worth trying. Just try it, you know, maybe at home, and then lean over a steaming something cooking on the stove and see if it works. But that's what the girls used to. I didn't have glasses at the time, but one of my friends did, and that's what she learned, and she obviously learned it from theatre stuff. I was a lowly person in the theatre, don't get me wrong. I was just, you know, the lowest of the lowest, the people clearing up all the time. Yeah.
You mean
but
like
you learn
medical?
things. It's worth trying, anyhow. Yeah.
So when you
like,
smear your glasses with a bit of soap, so you obviously have to have either wet fingers or a wet cloth on and damp it onto the soap, and then your glasses.
Yes, or put your finger on it if it's slightly damp, but it's not much soap. Because you're trying to make a thin layer of soap over your glasses, and yeah.
But does it have to be dry soap, or you can wash with water and then put it on?
No. You want it as dry as possible, but only, I mean, if you put your finger on it and just rub it and then put it onto the lens. I haven't tried it for ages because I didn't need to, but yeah, but it's worth trying. And if it doesn't work, you can tell me next time.
I think alcohol wipes work the same way. If you get these, you can buy these little alcohol wipe things.
Yeah,
and they work.
I'm not sure that. Anyhow. Yeah.
I think they're very good for when you wear glasses, but I'm not sure about for helping you to avoid steam emitting.
Because I think the soap is oily, so perhaps the water just coming down, dropping down, because cannot just attach itself to the oily, slippery surface. Surface was the
surface.
Surface.
Since
yeah.
then, we've really changed the type of glass prescriptions we have on our lenses. They're quite different to what they would have been some years ago. They're always
not some years ago, aeons ago.
Yeah, so
we're talking about the 1950s, madam.
Every time I go to the optician, he's always saying to me, you know, well, we've got this new lens, you know, this will help, etc., etc. So you go for it, and each time it's slightly different. They give me a spray to use for my glasses to wipe them, and they're very good, but they don't stop the steam from the mask.
No, I can imagine.
I don't know if it would work, Krysia, and other ladies and gentlemen, if they have the same problem. But at Boots, you can also buy like disinfection spray with like wand, like a plaster as well. It's called plaster spray, and it's also water resist. So maybe if you spray this on your glasses, you will, and it's just a spray, so it's not gonna leave anything.
You can get some cheap glasses to test on, I think, maybe.
Yeah, maybe first.
Yes, some old ones with the lenses, you know, you've changed the lenses, but they're stuck in the drawer. Yes. Yeah.
Well, last year's summer glasses.
How long have you been? Where are you, Christine?
I'm in Paynton.
Paynton, you're in Paynton too. Yeah.
I've got a little friend with me here. I don't know if you can spot the friend. Here we go.
Oh, right.
Oh, look, I'm in love. Oh, hello, it's Auntie Stella. Hello.
Do you know who this is? doesn't it?
Don't let it frighten you, Lily.
Watching, can't you? You're watching.
What's his name?
Oh,
What's her
That's
name?
absolutely beautiful.
I don't think she's enjoying it.
Oh, I do miss my boy. We lost him at Easter during all this blooming lockdown, and it's just been horrible. He was a Jack Russell. He was cute. He was cute, but he wasn't that cute.
Hello.
But this is Mela. We've got Mela with us as well.
Oh, can you see the dog? Look at the dog that we've got. We've even got, they're trying to get the numbers up. Mummy's trying to get the numbers up, so we've got a dog now.
she's looking at you. Don't get the wrong impression, because I've got 2 screens. Look.
Oh, right. I see.
So it's a bigger one. Oh, like.
Is it very still, Christine? Is it Christine?
Krisha.
I can see he sits very still. You might think he was stuck. You sure he's alive?
What's is it a him or a her?
It's a her.
What's her name?
Dusky.
Dusky.
No.
Sasky.
Dusky.
Sasky. With S.
Sa.
Oh, Sasky.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh. Hello. Do you want to come to my house? Do you want to come and stay?
Oh. That's
No,
exactly
it's got any
nice.
sense.
I'm sure I've still got some treats behind the sofa. I've not moved it in about 3 years.
Yeah, whenever we go to the church on the Wednesdays when we used to meet up, and we go to Totnes, because we knew some friends that were going there, and we always bring her along, and she's like a good therapy dog for other people. She doesn't mind being stroked, so she, you know, it's a two-way. We've got to win, and everybody else who likes a dog can stroke her.
My Alfie used to come to the Thursday morning coffee morning, and we had a trainee. They call them cadets in the Salvation Army,
Yes.
and she was saying about the type of place she'd like to go to, and she said, "Oh, I don't mind if it's old people and a dog." And so Chris, our captain at the time, she said, "Well, actually, I can do both of those for you," because she said we've got old people and we do have a dog. So, but Alfie used to come in and have a sniff at everybody and see what they'd got to offer, and then that was it. He wanted to clear off then. He's not very religious, and but yeah, but I used to love coming. He used to get used to everybody, and yeah, I think it's lovely.
Yeah, I think so too.
And on a Sunday, for the Sunday service, we had some retired Salvation Army officers, which are like, vicars or priests or whatever you want to call them. Mm. And whenever they come, she always brings, and I think it's a cockapoo she's got, a grey black one, and she always brings her. And I love it. It's the best Sunday service ever, because she walks about all over the place. So it's really nice. Everyone gets a little stroke and a cuddle.
And nobody objects.
It's one of God's creatures. There's nothing wrong with that.
Aggie, do you remember we ran a workshop in Ilfracombe in North Devon, and we were quite nervous. We didn't know how it was going to go. We hadn't met anyone there before, and it was different people from different organisations and public. But one of the ladies brought their dog, or a couple brought their dog, and it's just the best thing in the world. So whoever run a group, just
they really are therapy. They are therapy, aren't they? They are. They were a therapy dog.
And they know when you're not well as well. Yeah. They treat you in a different way. It's as if they do their silent sympathy when you're not well. They know it. Yeah.
Well, before we had Alfie, who was Jack Russell, we had a Westie, and it was a funny little thing. And my mum was never, we were never, as children, we didn't have animals and things. My mum wasn't, they weren't animal people. But my mum couldn't see. She'd got macular degeneration, so she had a job seeing. And she'd come into my lounge, and Gizmo, the Westie, used to actually walk round her, wouldn't walk in her way. Everybody else would be sort of like falling about because he'd be in the way, but he would walk round her. They must have sensed, I don't know whether they can, but it was very weird if not, because she was the only one that he did it with, and he used to wait until she was sat down and then would go and sit with her.
I know, I think they're amazing. They're amazing. That's why they make such good therapy dogs,
Yeah.
guide dogs. My last dog was a Yorkie, a little Yorkie, and she lived till 16. And when we bought her, the breeder says, all mine live. You'll be lucky if you get to 8 years. So I made
That's
sure
brilliant.
she always had as
My,
healthy.
my Alfie was nearly 14. He would have been 14 last month. So he did quite well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think if you look after them, you know, you'll get so much more from them.
oh,
She,
I
she-
got much more than I gave. I mean, he just was. And when I used to have a row with my husband, which I do quite regularly, I used to talk to the dog. And, you know, sort of like, you know, because I'd ignore my husband and then talk to the dog.
Yes.
And then I'd say, we don't like him, do we? And Alfie used to sort of look at me as much like, oh, they're off again. And yeah, I used to say, we'll go out on our own. We'll leave him at home and all that. And it was great. That's therapy.
It works. It works. It does. Yeah. Yeah.
Toby, have you ever had a dog in your life?
They're talking to you, Emma.
Hello?
Hello, Toby. You're next to Krisha. Have you had a dog or any pet?
I had an obsession.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
When was that?
Amber. She was called Amber.
Oh,
Amber.
Yeah, lovely dog.
Mm.
they always
beautiful
have such
dogs.
nice names, don't they, German Shepherds? You never get them with like names like, you know, Gizmo and all that. They always have, like my friends, it was Lady and all. You know what I mean? They always have what I call sensible, regalish sort of names. It's nice. And
Yeah.
Yes, ours
My
is called
last
Barnaby.
dog,
Toby, how old was your dog when? How long did you have your dog for? Like,
Well, my son had her first, and he had a shop, so he got another one, and he had 2 Alsatians. So I was passed on Amber,
oh, I see.
about 8 when she got the hind legs going on her.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
And
Yeah.
Toby,
Yeah.
where are you? Are you in Paynton as well?
I'm in Torquay.
In Torquay?
Oh, you're upmarket, are you?
Not really.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, Toby, as well as we've got new people from different groups, and
I've got all my family around me.
oh, that's
That's
lovely.
nice.
I live in Torquay and Paynton and King's Kurswell.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Are you from Paynton, born and raised?
I was born in Copenhagen, Denmark, born and bred.
Oh, hey.
Right.
Have you
Yeah.
gone back recent any time?
No, I have not been back recently, about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
do you still have some family in there?
I am too old to travel
Oh,
now.
please don't say that, because that's not true.
And it's too far to go now. Yeah.
Say
I had-
something for us.
I have a cousin and
Sorry.
and the second cousins. But I never had any siblings. So, yeah. I came to England in 1949.
Well, that was the
Okay.
year I was born.
When I got married to an English soldier in Copenhagen in 1947.
All right. Was he there because of the war?
He was there on leave from Germany. He was stationed in Germany.
Oh, right. Yes.
He came to Denmark, to Copenhagen on leave, and we met, and we got married about a year later.
Where did you meet Toby?
We met in the Tivoli Gardens. Do you know Copenhagen?
I have been to Copenhagen. Is that near the palace, the Tivoli Gardens?
Yeah, we met in Tivoli Gardens
Okay.
in the House of Mirrors.
Oh,
Oh, I know Tivoli Gardens. Yeah. I know it. I know what you mean. It's like a fairground, hey?
Yeah. Well, you look in the mirrors and you'll find shapes.
Yes, I know the sort of thing you mean. Yes, yeah. Obviously, he thought Danish ladies were more fun than German ones and grabbed one while he could.
Did you think he was much taller than he was? And then when he came out from the mirrors, you realised? Sure.
Was he taller?
Well, you know, the mirrors make people look different, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, made him shorter and taller and wider and everything.
I look like that in an ordinary mirror. I look and I think, surely I can't be that wide. But no, it's true, I am.
I love that story. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it?
when we Toby told us about her memory. Last week or a couple of weeks ago, we had a memorable memories session, and we all shared something which was really interesting from our lives. And I also enjoyed everyone's stories, but yeah, I remember Toby's stories as well about how you guys met, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
How about yourself, Brian? Where are you? Do you want to say something about yourself and where you are?
Yes, I'm.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
born in Oxford
Brian.
in 1948, and lived in Oxford until we moved down to Paynton. Because my mother and myself were a newsagent shop in Paynton. But unfortunately, through ill health, my mother and father, I couldn't cope with it. It was too much to try and run it on your own. So I had to, so we lost it. But in saying that, since then, I've had a good time in Devon. I belong to St John Ambulance.
All right.
I did 25 years with them before my back, knees. So I've got arthritis in everywhere you name the bone, I've got arthritis in it. I had to pack up, so I packed it all in. I did do 25 years, which was very good. I enjoyed it. It was one of the best things I ever did. And saying that, I also, when we lost the shop, I started to do an MVQ in care work. Worked in 2 or 3 different nursing homes and residential homes. And the last one I worked at was in Brixton. And I was there for 3.5 years before my back went completely, I couldn't do it anymore. So that was the end of me. I haven't worked since 1997, except for looking after my mother. And it was through my mother and some friends of my mother's who were in the Baptist church. This lady came to help my mother do her garden because she wasn't able to do it, and I couldn't bend enough to do the gardening. So the first time I saw her, which has been a joke ever since, she was now on the floor with her bum sticking up in the air. And so I've always said that it was bum at first sight. And we got together when her divorce came through. We started seeing each other, and we got married on the 24th of October 2002. So we've had nearly 18 years of marriage now, so amazing. But yes, I wouldn't have chose anybody else if I wish I'd have only known her a few years earlier, but yes, she acts as my carer officially, and she has to do a lot for me. She has to help me have a shower and things like this because of my back. And yes, right. And I missed the week when you had the memory, what do you call it, memory things, bringing in your memories. But I can remember 1953. I was 5 then, and my grandfather and my dad took me to Wembley to watch Pegasus. That was an amateur club in Oxford, made up of the Cambridge and Oxford University people. And they were in the Amateur Cup final at Wembley, and they took me to watch it, and they won 6-0, which made it a very enjoyable day. And then a bit later on, my brother was born on May the 18th. And a little bit later than that, it was the coronation. And as we were the only family in the little row of houses where we lived, with a television, all the other families came in and watched on this television. And the television had a 9-inch? It was about a 10-inch screen, circular screen. It stood about in a box about 3'6" high, with this circular screen in it. And they all the adults sat in chairs and everything. And all the children, we had to sit on the floor and watch it on the floor. But it's something I'll always remember, was the coronation of the Queen's coronation in 1953. So, you know, there's a lot more things as well which happened. But yes, I enjoy living down in Devon. We live at Totnes now, well, at Bishop Stainton, which is about 2 miles from Totnes, but it's still part of Totnes. And yeah, we've got a lovely bungalow, a lovely garden, which my wife's done and made it really nice. And that's it, that's me.
Brian also has a passion. Maybe you can tell us later on about it, because we've had this session about our hobbies, and you were the person who was leading this session, because Brian Law has a huge stamp collection. So maybe we have a time to talk about it later on for a few minutes as well, Brian.
Yes. Actually, one of the things which I forgot to say when I gave you my little talk on stamp collecting, on my 65th birthday, unknown to me, Ginny had got me a sheet of stamps with me and her on it, and the Christmas cake greeting stamp by the side of it. There's 10 stamps altogether, and they're in a lovely, what do they call it? What do they call it? Where you put photographs.
Agnieszka, sorry to interrupt, my darling. I'm going to have to go.
Of course, Krishu.
I'm so sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
No, we have this rule, don't worry. People can leave anytime. Say hello to Eric from us as well.
Thank you, will do, and we'll speak very soon.
Yes, bye-bye.
Nice to see you, bye-bye.
Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Krisha.
Bye.
Yes, that was my 65th birthday present, with me on a stamp with the Queen's head. That was great, you know.
I love that.
And now, legally, you could use them on a card or a letter or anything.
You could do that. That sounds amazing.
I can understand what Brian meant about coronation. I mean, he was watching on television, but at our hospital in London, anybody who wanted to go and watch the coronation could put in for it, because you had to find someone to replace you. And so another friend and I went to the coronation, and my sister came up from Surrey, I think it was. We were in the coronation in the Mall, you know, standing there. But beforehand, you had to be up in London. Some people, of course, were there for 3 or 4 days and were camped along the edge. And then we slept in Green Park. Well, we didn't sleep, we just sort of dozed off. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, I can remember because you could see Big Ben from there, the police got us up and out of the parks for security reasons. You didn't really appreciate it at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it wasn't all that warm either. And so we had to stand in the Mall and stand around until we left about 5:30 in the afternoon. But, you know, it was just unbelievable. We had all sorts of nationalities near us, and a South African who helped us cheer every single group of people that went past. And could you imagine it? The coronation, all the Commonwealth countries were there, and each produced things, you know, a different group. So we were standing there cheering them on and cheering them off, and all the people that were going to the Westminster Abbey were actually there as well in their little carriages and things, and everything was open up. And, you know, people were putting their umbrellas up and not putting their hoods over so that people could see them. I remember the Queen of Tonga, I think it was, did that. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing because we got very, very wet. The skies opened at about midday, literally opened, and there wasn't anybody dry. And the Australian soldiers were in front of us, you know, how they line the thing. And they had blanco on, of course, to make white hats and everything. Nobody ever thought that in Britain it might rain. I don't think the Australians realised that. So these poor men didn't have any covers. All the guards had little capes that were put on, but not the Australians. And the blanco was running down their faces. And a policeman got his handkerchief out and wiped all of these men's faces so they could see, and got their stuff off their eyes. I thought someone of the officers could have done that, but they didn't think it was. But when the Australians finished, because they were cold, wet and tired, because you know how heavy those rifles are. I mean, they were obviously on the ground but in the afterwards when they marched off, and you could see those men's hands shaking. They were so cold, even the rifle was moving with them like they went off. But it was absolutely fantastic. I know where Brian's coming from. It was an amazing day. It really was. Everybody but everybody was cheering. Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Thank you, Julia, for telling us, and thank you, Julia, for sharing this with us. And as you have a voice right now, so perhaps you can tell us as well a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And
well, I was born in Kenya, but I spent most of my life until I was 18 in England. Well, until I was 23, and then I went overseas and came back and had children, and yeah, it's so on and so forth. Yeah, but yeah, we lived in Australia for 6 years. Then we went into what I call the aid game. We work with the United Nations for different projects, or the World Bank, or various consultants that were dealing with that. And we lived in sort of 8 developing countries at different times. And so, yeah, it's a bit different. And then the children went to boarding school because there's no secondary education in the third world worth talking about, as far as we were concerned. And yeah. So I have 1 son in Serbia, 1 son in Germany, 1 daughter in Scotland, and 1 daughter in London. So yeah, the 4 children are all over the place. I don't see them very much. I mean, I can't. They've got busy lives, and at the moment it's not possible anyhow. Yeah.
Do you FaceTime with them sometimes? Or
oh yes, last night I was talking 2 hours with my son in Serbia. we have discussion groups and we talk and we laugh and I don't know, we go on until I have to say, I hate to say it, but I need to go to bed even if you don't, because I get tired. But yes, yeah, I finished last night about 5 to 10 and we do it every week. And my son in Germany rings me up at least every week. Yes.
So you've got your children in Serbia, in Germany, in
and Scotland.
Scotland.
Yeah, right up the north, Inverness way, which is a long way.
Wow. I don't know if you guys realized, but we represent such a different places, different cultures, and we visited or were born in many different places, which is great. And here we are, Devon. It's nice.
But you know, Stella was saying about being passionate. I'm passionate for poor people in Britain and poor people overseas. You know, that's my passion. You know, whether it's helping shelter or some of the, you know, crisis in these places, or whether it's helping people in Bangladesh or Nepal or the places I've been as well. Yeah. And I still keep in touch with quite a number, especially the minister at our church in the Solomon Islands. He's working in New Zealand at the moment, but he'll retire to the Solomons. So I get to know about his life as well, you know, what he's doing and his children and family and so on. Yeah. Yes. So yeah, I know quite a lot of people that way. Yes.
Thank you, Julia. Such amazing stories we've heard today about people, like simple few minutes of telling each other of who we are, what's our background, where we're from, passions, our life histories. It's amazing to listen that and to share that with each other. Did we ask everyone about passion, Harry?
We did, apart from me and you. But,
oh, okay. What's your passion, Harry? Where are you from? Who are you?
Who am I?
You might not want to know.
I don't know. I'm from London. I moved here 2 years ago, or more than that now, 2.5 years ago ish. My mum lives in Seaton, so I moved down here to be nearer her. My mum and stepdad and aunt. And I have done lots of things in my short life, in my eyes, I guess. I used to be a swimming teacher for 10 years. I was a London tour guide for 6 months on the buses. So I was going around and pointing out, there's Big Ben and whatever else.
You can go to the toilet now, break time.
Yeah, exactly. Time to get off. Yeah, so that was good. I don't know. Yeah, lots of things I'm passionate about a lot. I'm very much a jack of all trades kind of person. I think rather than knowing anything.
That means you've got a lot of abilities. It's not jack of all trades. That sounds awful, but it isn't. You've got a lot of ability, a lot of experience. Yeah. And that experience can be used from job to job, Harry, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it's working out okay so far. We'll see where it ends up. But yeah, thanks, Julia. Yeah, that's me.
What about you, Aggie?
So I was born in Poland.
No.
We never guessed.
Yes, I was born in Poland, and I come from a small village in Poland. My family lives in a rural area, and it's very similar to Devon, some of those Devon rural areas, and it's very beautiful as well. And 12 years ago, I went to the US. Yeah, I think it was 12 years ago. I thought, okay, I would like to travel a little bit. So I went to the US, and I've spent there 4 months traveling around and working. And then after that, I decided that I will just finish my master's degree in Poland, because I was studying as well. And I've just done it. I finished that. I became a teacher, and then I've decided to to come to England and get some experience here, just to see, just to see how, how this country is for me. I actually followed my boyfriend, who's my husband right now at that time, because he was offered a scholarship experience in one of the IT company in Dalverton. And Dalverton and my hometown and my husband's hometown, it's a twinning association. So that's why we decided maybe we could stay here for 1 year, get some work experience, the scholarship, and we'll see how it goes. But then after a year, he was offered a permanent position at that company. So we had to decide whether we come back to Poland or stay here. So we decided to stay here because he really liked his job. At that time, he was software developer. I was a cleaner, so it was a little bit different scenario for me. Just, after graduating from my university, and also just having my own business in Warsaw, I became I had to start over from scratches again. But it was a challenging time. It was really something I've managed to do, and for the last 12 years I've been doing different things. I set up Anglo-Polish organization of Devon called Dzień Dobry Devon, which is Good Morning Devon. And I've also set up a Polish Saturday school for Polish and English children, and I was a head teacher for that school for 4 and 5 years. I was doing lots of voluntary work as well and working on different places. But now I work at Devon Communities Together, and it's been like 8 years, I think, since I've started in this place. I really enjoy it. And my passion, I think I've got not loads, but I've got few, but I really like history, and I like reading history books, especially around Second World War, or in between the 20 years between First and Second World War as well. And my children is my passion as well. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Well, a bit like Harry, you've had a varied life, and like so many people. Yeah, up and down, and decisions, and living. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you're settled in Devon.
I love that. I didn't know half of that. So
really? I'm so sorry.
You live and learn, Harry, even at your age.
Yeah. It's just
hearing all about everybody's stories. It just shows life is to be lived, isn't it? You know what I mean? All the different, different places. It doesn't matter. Even if you stay in Devon, just make the most of everything
what
you're
given.
And just sort of, and just enjoy whatever you're doing. And
exactly, live your life.
It is true. And I actually think lockdown has made a lot of people more aware that actually just sitting back and resting a bit isn't a bad thing. It is, because whereas at one time I'd think, oh, God, even though I'm retired, and I mean, I worked for sort of nearly 40 years, so I think I'm deserved to sort of, to retire and not, you think, oh, I'm being really lazy. But actually it's all right. You're not being lazy. You're just sitting back and enjoying.
Exactly. So actually, if I may ask you, you don't have to tell me, but what do you think this lockdown changed in your life, on positive sides or negative sides? If you would like to tell me, if anyone would like to say something, like in couple words as well, like has anything changed in your life because of this lockdown, or have you changed yourself?
I'm much calmer, believe it or not. I'm less stressy, because I get anxiety problems and I get panic attacks and all this sort of thing, which a lot of people can't believe it, but I do. But I've been less so in this time because I think there's been less sort of pressure, you know, on what needs to be done. And that's been a really good thing. And it's especially at the beginning when we couldn't move anywhere. I mean, you know, my husband and I were literally we couldn't go out the front door. Days went past when you couldn't go out, you know. So it was tough, but by the same token, it was quite nice, you know. And I did get my chest of drawers sorted, and the 2 drawers underneath my wardrobe, I've sorted those out. That's all I've done. But I did get that done. But the negative point is not being, I'm quite independent, not being able to just sort of go and come and go as I please. I don't like that, particularly. And also not seeing my family, my daughter and my 2 grandchildren. But I think that is for everybody. I think that's been a real problem, I think, for a lot of people. So it's not just me. But yeah, I haven't found it that difficult. That sounds awful, doesn't it?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not.
You know, it's just, I don't, it's like I read somewhere and it said, you're not stuck at home, you're staying at home to stay safe. And I thought, that's true, really.
And I think also it's important to find positive things out of this situation.
Yeah.
So I think that's what you transformed from something which could be potentially very negative situation. You actually transformed it in your life for something positive.
Yeah.
Anyone else would like to share thoughts on that? Please you don't have to. I'm just asking just to give you a voice.
I think I started off doing exercise more at the start of lockdown, and I'm not doing it all the time, but I definitely feel like it's becoming part of my life a bit more. So just because you kind of realize that you're stuck and you need to change your mood, or you need to have a slight something. So I'm learning that just even 5 minutes or a couple of minutes to do some push-ups or something like that, and you just feel suddenly kind of like
yes, agreed.
You know, which has been nice. Yeah.
Julia, would you like to say something on that?
Well, no, I was just saying, you know, I agree with Harry. I mean, I go to a yoga class once a week, and our leader has just given us, you know, exercises to do, and we've got 4 or 5 of them, so we can choose different patterns. I do yoga at least once a week, sometimes a bit more often, but not very often. And also I do exercises as well, yes. I found myself, my bottom getting bigger. So I went on it's true. And I went on the internet and I do about, she said it was 5 minutes, it takes a bit longer, about 7 minutes. But yes, I do them, you know, in the morning before I get completely dressed and lie on the floor and do all these exercises. But yes, yeah. But because I've lived in funny countries, or say funny, I mean unusual places, and I've been in lockdown in many respects. When we lived in the southern Sudan, there was no telephone, very little radio, no television, and we couldn't travel anywhere. Down south was Uganda, with the dreadful things that were happening there. We couldn't get to Kenya, the only way out. There wasn't much medical help and not much food. You learn to rely on yourself. I mean, my son got appendix out just before he did his A-levels, and it took 3 days for the news to reach to us, and we couldn't get through for a couple of days to ask how he was. You learn to cope with those situations. So when lockdown came, I've been there before, so to speak, except that I was in my house. So I washed all the paintwork done, which hasn't been done for about 10 years and won't be done for another 10 years, because it's an old house. If you can imagine, all the side bits have all got little curves and things. I'm going around with a toothbrush and a nail brush and some, you know what I mean, trying to get it all cleaned. I mean, I haven't painted anything. I've just washed it down and made it clean. But as I've got a 3-bedroomed house, there's an awful lot of it, yes. But I just planned something for every day, so that every day I had something to do, like I usually do, actually, yeah.
It's a good tip as well. Like you plan something for every day, so you keep busy as well. You keep busy yourself. I think it's a good tip for each of us to make sure that we've got something every day, something to do every day to occupy us with things. For me, for example, this lockdown and this is like isolation made me learn how to plant vegetables and flowers. So I've got few. Harry gave me one as well. He's been doing this quite well. He's a good gardener, I would say. He gave me a courgette, so I'm keeping it safe. It's growing. So my family, my grandma, she has a big garden with loads of things. My parents as well, because we live in a village. But I've never done any gardening just myself. But at the moment, I'm trying as a just trial, and I've got a few things. So this was a positive outcome as well. But speaking of exercises, next week we have 2 people visiting us. Those groups, our Zoom groups from Active Devon, and they will be talking about this being active booklet. And also we have a lady called Caroline Dodd, and she will be leading some gentle exercises with us, helping us to get some ideas how we can move our muscles and move our body gently during the lockdown, because when we stuck at home, it's maybe less opportunity for us to move. So hopefully you all will enjoy this session next week. If you know someone who would like to join and hasn't joined our Zoom yet, please let them know, and maybe just even give them our contact details so we can contact them and invite them, explain them the situation. But other than that, has anyone else got any questions, any comments? Otherwise, we perhaps say goodbye in a minute. Harry, you look like you have a question.
Well, I'm just thinking. I was looking around to see who has glasses on and who's going to try out the soap on the glasses thing.
That one.
I haven't got any soap. Well, I tell you, I've got me alcohol stuff here. I'll put a bit of alcohol stuff. See if what I said was true. Oh God, this is going to be so embarrassing.
You're going to just blow steam into it.
Glenys, I've never seen you in glasses. Do you have glasses? Do you wear glasses?
Yeah, I do for reading and yes, near close wear particularly, but I don't wear them all the time. No.
Okay. And what about you, Tovi? Do you wear glasses?
Only no.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you both must have a really good vision as well.
Yeah, I did have. Yeah.
I should wear glasses, but perhaps more for like when I drive. So I don't drive not much now.
So you're not dangerous on the road, you mean?
Okay, so I lied, but it clears really quickly.
Really?
That's that. I'm not advertising. That's that, alcohol. I've got it right by the side of me because I spend my life washing my hands or sticking this stuff on it. And we've got them everywhere. We've got them in the car.
Yeah, same with me.
We're going out. It's nice now. We're going out in the car. We're not getting out, but we can go out. If there's nobody about, I go for a walk. But if there's too many people, I don't. You're spinning around trying to keep away from people, so I don't go. But yeah, no. So now it's cleared. So it's quick. So the hut does go on it. What's it called? Steam. The hut. The steam does go on it, but it comes off really quickly. So,
okay.
So it's.
I will let Krisha know as well because she was the one who started.
So, and it's just hand sanitizer, and I only wear these for. I've got contact lenses in, so I just wear these for reading. Yeah, hygiene hand gel, flammable. Well,
I think anything with alcohol perhaps has the same
I'm just looking what else is, yeah. So it's just basically it's alcohol.
Okay, brilliant. Okay. I don't know about your group, Harry, but we have a tradition before we finish the session. We always ask each other what we've had for breakfast. Glenys, what did you have for breakfast?
I had 2 Weetabix and a banana.
Thank you,
Oh,
lovely.
you healthy.
Tovi, what about you, my dear? What did you have for breakfast?
Crunchy bran with a banana.
Crunchy bran with the banana.
Crunchy brown.
Brian, let me guess. I think you've had porridge.
No, I had a crunchy. No, crunchy bran.
I had porridge.
Oh,
Blueberries?
And some mixed fruit. I have that every day.
Yeah.
For you.
Julia, what about you? What did you have for breakfast?
I had porridge, like Brian, and 3 pieces of fruit, an orange, a pear, and you know, one of those flat peaches, and then 2 big cups of tea.
Nice. And Stella, lovely Stella, what did you have for breakfast?
Fruit, bread and coffee.
Nice. Harry.
I had like overnight oats. You know this? So like, yeah, with so oats with pear and a nectarine in it.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Mela, what did you have for breakfast? But this is here is the camera, Melta, okay? What did you have for breakfast, Mela?
I had scrambled eggs.
With onion?
Lucky girl.
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs.
We love scrambled eggs. We have it quite often. Okay, so thank you everyone so much for your time today. And
It was nice to meet some new people. Thank you. That was really
lovely.
nice.
It was lovely, and I think if you don't mind, we perhaps should do it more often.
Yeah, every now and again we can do it, can't we?
Yeah, it's like virtual visit from Exmouth to another Torbay places, Paynton, Totnes, Tidmouth. So I think it would be nice to do something like that in the future as well.
Yes.
But I hope you have a lovely rest of the week and lovely weekend, and I hope I will see you on Tuesday, and I think Harry will see the Harry's group on Tuesday too later on. Okay, bye bye everyone.
Bye bye everybody.
See you.
Harry, it's next week at 3:30, is it?
Yes, same time. Yes.
Okay, and the other number, yeah.
Yeah, I'll email that.